Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's time for part 2 of my video on the recent banning announcements. The last one covered the 3 cards that were just banned from Standard, which is very shocking, but bans in Modern are a little bit less shocking. They just are how the format barely stays alive. So here's my take on the other 2 cards that were banned from Modern. Now, in my top 5 cards that need to be banned from Modern list, this was number 2, Gitaxian Probe, and it is now officially banned. So it seems Wizards and I are seeing eye to eye as well, pretty much everybody else. Nobody had anything positive to say about Gitaxian Probe, or really just Phyrexian Mana in general. That was more the complaint. So are we going to see a ban on Dismember? Maybe. It is a horribly unfair card, although I will say that losing 4 life is a lot more significant than losing 2 life. So Gitaxian Probe had 2 things wrong with it. One, it's completely free. Now, if you're playing against like Burn or some kind of creature combat deck, losing 2 life probably just lost you an entire turn of the game. You're probably going to lose 1 turn sooner. So you can't just write that off as unimportant. But in like a combo and win deck where somebody gets, infinite Kitchen Finks life, they don't give a crap what your life total is because they just won the game. So in a deck that actually plays Magic the normal way and tries to peck you down from 20 to 0, you can't write off the 2 life, but in a combo deck you can. It's completely unimportant. And then what is Gitaxian Probe good for? Combo decks. Do you want to check if they have Splinter Twin? Do you want to check if they have Kitchen Finks? Yeah, you probably do, because then if you're going to, ban a card based on its name or, try to go draw a hand disruption because you now see that they already have a Kitchen Finks in hand. Well, now you know what's in their hand. So knowing what's in somebody's hand does not help you if they're playing like Jund or Zoo or, to a certain extent, other similar decks. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to summon creatures and try to blow my stuff up while swinging at me. Big surprise. I could have told you that anyway. But if they're playing a combo, that's a different story, and that's when the 2 life wouldn't matter, and also you can see what parts of the combo they do and don't have. Then you know what to counter, you know what to name, you know what to, exile from their library, all that kind of stuff. All that isn't that common in Modern, but you get the idea. Now, my problem with Gitaxian Probe is that people play it when they're not even playing blue, okay? And even if they are playing blue, they'll say, I'm just going to pay the 2 life, like just because they're so used to it. What Gitaxian Probe lets you do is have a Modern deck that plays 56 cards. That is by itself broken. It's completely broken. It's like some stupid like Candyland or something, or like Monopoly, or I don't know. Neither one of those actually have this card, but you draw a card and it says draw a card. So you just, oh cool, toss it and draw the next card. So yeah, you can't just ignore the 2 life lost. And if the 2 life tends to be important against whatever your opponent's playing, then you're screwing yourself over by just shrinking your deck. But if you've got a combo that you need to get, you really need to get to that 1 card. Playing 56 cards is a lot better than playing 60. And if you still don't get it, I mean, every time Gitaxian Probe comes up, you go, oh cool, pay 2, toss it in the graveyard, and go draw another card. So in effect, it's exactly the same thing as playing with 56 cards. And I mean exactly the same. Except that you get, what do you call it? Delve fuel if you're playing a Delve card. Like, people will play Gitaxian Probe just so that they can play Become Immense earlier, because it's Delve up to 5. Technically, it also fed Delirium too, although I don't think Delirium in Modern ever really took off. So just the fact that everybody runs it, nobody uses it to actually look at their opponent's hand, I mean, it helps. Everybody just shrinks their deck, and it makes just about every deck ever made more consistent. You just can't have that. You gotta get rid of something like that. It takes all the stupid glass cannon combo decks and powers them down, which will hopefully discourage people from actually running them. Now, I thought they should get rid of the other effective deck shrinkers, like every single Anticipate clone, because Ponder is already illegal. Unfortunately, Serum Visions is still legal, and it lets you mow through your deck way the hell too quickly. It lets, stuff like Splinter Twin work, which, by the way, is now banned in case you didn't, catch that one. If you were looking for just, 4 cards to meet up with 4 cards, it's like a 12% chance of happening naturally. It's never going to happen. You'll win 1 in 10 decks, or 1 in 10 matchups. But if you're going through your cards, just mowing through your library like 4 cards at a time, yeah, you're going to pick up that combo a little quicker. So the whole scry plus draw, oh look, I went to my draw step, then played this, then looked at the top 2, then like put 1 back, then drew 1, and like all that crap, Anticipate, there's probably 4 different versions of it at this point. It's just not fair. I mean, yeah, it's what blue does. It's a basic mechanic, but its actual effect on modern is just terrible. So they left those in and they got rid of Gitaxian because honestly, people just hate Phyrexian mana. So I completely agree with that. And I'm going to go pull it from my deck right now. Gitaxian is currently in the revised version of Beholder 3.0 Alpha. Now, the last one, I'm going to admit I don't know anything about because I've never played Dredge. I played against Dredge once, and I'm not even sure it wasn't the Legacy or Vintage version. Dredge is a broken pile of crap and everybody hates it, and as Wizards puts it, it becomes the war of the sideboards. Here's why stupid, gimmicky glass cannon decks are idiotic. They mulligan to 3 and then just give up and forfeit the game. Wow, what a fun game of Magic that I didn't get to play because you're waiting for your stupid little combo to go off. I mean, that is just honestly one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my entire life. People just mull, oh, I didn't pick up my combo. Oh, mulligan again. Oh, I didn't pick up my combo. Screw it, I forfeit. That is like poor sportsmanship mixed with stupidity, mixed with bad game design. There's nothing positive about that. So the way I understand that Dredge works, it's the same thing. You need to get the combo going, so you need to start with certain cards, or you have to like miracle draw into them, which is never going to happen. Well, you know, unless of course you're running Anticipate and Serum Visions and Gitaxian Probe. So anyway, this card, I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen it because, like I said, nobody around me plays Dredge. I heard that one guy does, so I'm glad that he got screwed over because that deck is honestly just horrific. So to me, this card just sounds broken, and anything that kills Dredge, yeah, go for it. Dredge is a freaking install. It's right up there with Cascade. They have completely eliminated Cascade from modern play with like one exception. Cascade is a broken mechanic. Dredge is a broken mechanic. The end. No two ways about it. In fact, I'd throw Infect on that list too. Will they ever ban Infect from Modern? I doubt it. It would piss off so many people, but let's wait against how many people are pissed off that Infect still exists. Okay, ban it, but they're just not going to. Simple as that. So when this complete piece of garbage comes into play, it comes into play with a 1/1 counter on it for each creature card in your graveyard, which is usually a lot. Then you can pay 1, remove a 1/1 counter from Golgari Troll and regenerate it, so basically you can never kill it. Yes, you could still exile it. Oh, Path of Exile. It's a perfectly fair card. Like I said before, if there is like one reasonable way to kill something, that's not fair, okay? That's not like, oh, cool, that's fine. No, there's nothing fine about that. And then, of course, it has Dredge 6. So if you would draw a card instead, you put exactly 6 cards from the top of your library into your graveyard. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So once it already lands in your graveyard, you can return it. And that there's all kinds of reasons that's broken. Just look up somebody playing Dredge and you'll be like, what the hell is this? So yes, 100% support getting rid of this piece of garbage. This card is just stupid, just utterly stupid. Dredge is such a load of crap. I honestly hope this is the last we see of it. So let's talk about what wasn't banned. Lantern Control wasn't banned at all. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. That is quite possibly the worst deck I've ever seen in my entire life. Lantern Control is rage-inducing garbage that makes people like not just quit the game, but quit Magic. It's that bad of a deck. It just stops everything, and I mean everything. Nothing can beat Lantern Control other than Lantern Control self-destructing and not drawing what it needs. Otherwise, you can't swing, you can't cast anything, you can't untap anything. You can't beat it. It is a complete menace to play against, and they need to get rid of it. So what would I ban? Absolutely Ensnaring Bridge. Don't even have to think about that. Second choice would be Lantern of Insight. Lantern of Insight is basically Liliana and Jace put together. I would definitely ban Ancient Stirrings as well because that card's just broken. I mean, it's a 1-cost sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a colorless card from among them and put it into your hand. I mean, that's just too much. That will not miss in Lantern Control. It just doesn't. Plus, the stupid thing runs Surgical Extraction and Duress and Inquisition and Gitaxian Probe. Well, not anymore, does it? So no matter what your opponent is playing, Lantern Control doesn't let them do anything. It shuts down absolutely everything that's too powerful. Get rid of it. Also, like I said, Infect should be banned. It never will be, but it should be. And everybody would throw a party except for the people that own it. Let's be honest. So unfortunately, they're not touching that one. And of course, Affinity. Everybody's been calling for Affinity to be banned ever since the last couple times they tried to ban it. Same with, the same goes for Storm. People have been annoyed by that deck ever since the last time they tried to ban it. They took a card out of it, made it weaker, and people still play it, and it's still too damn powerful. Also, Kitchen Finks, they obviously should have banned that. That's in one of the most unfair combos I've ever seen in my life. It's flexible, it's consistent, it's almost impossible to stop. You can't just kill it. It's just too good. Plus, nobody likes infinite combos. They're unfair, they're game breaking and unfair. I would have also gotten rid of Infinite Obliteration and Surgical Extraction and Shimmy Inspector and every other version of the card that does that, which is it gets rid of every copy by name of a certain card. That's just too powerful. You could get rid of somebody's entire win condition, what they need to run their deck. They might as well just forfeit. So you play like a 3-cost spell and they lose the game. That is exactly as OP and broken as it sounds. By the way, I have made this entire video without reading Wizards' reasoning behind the bans. I'm just putting in what I think the reasoning was. Well, it turns out I was 100% correct. Gitaxian Probe let people win on turn 3 or even turn 4 way too early, according to them, and it let people make strategic decisions about, countering somebody's combo way too easy. Also, like, if you know they're not holding a kill spell, you're going to throw out your creature. If you know they're not holding a negate, you're going to throw out your spell. It gives the player too much information, and somehow they never mentioned deck shrinking. It's kind of weird. And for Dredge, oh my god, they said Dredge, the mechanic and the deck, has a negative impact on Modern by pushing the format too far towards Battle of Sideboards. Actually, that one I heard quoted on Twitter, which is why I mentioned it earlier. Yep, Dredge, Cascade, and Infect are all garbage. They all need to be gotten rid of as soon as humanly possible. So as much as I'm dissatisfied with the fact that they didn't ban everything that everybody hates, which is so clear that the ones I have just mentioned that also need to be banned, they need to be banned. I mean, it's as clear as Gitaxian Probe is, if not even more in need of a ban. So they need to wake up and get rid of some of this garbage before nobody touches Modern ever again. But they're willing to ban some things that are universally hated, like Dredge and Gitaxian Probe. So at least it's a start. I think they would give people a heart attack if they banned 10 cards out of Modern, for example. So I'm going to be happy with what they banned so far and hope that it's a sign that they're going to ban more garbage in the future, because there's a lot of crap that needs to be cleaned up in Modern. Hopefully you guys agree with my assessment of these cards. If you don't, then both me and the company that makes Magic disagree with you, so you're wrong, shut the hell up. If you just lost your Dredge deck or you just lost Gitaxian, good. At least in the case of Dredge, you're a terrible person for playing it. I'll see you guys next video.